Your hosts, Kayode and Lewis. Let's mark out.
Yes, y'all. Welcome to another episode of On the Mark Wrestling Podcast, episode 61. I'm your boy Kayode, and as you can see, this isn't the same cast. We're a little different today. The administrator had to take some time off. Your boy just started the school season, and now he's in the thick of it. But I got none other than Streaming Joe. Joe, welcome to the show. The 3-man booth is coming soon. What's going on, man?
What's going on? The administrator's on leave.
He's on leave.
He had to take a leave.
He had to take a leave, man. The administrator had to take a leave.
It's all good, though. I got called up from the bullpen.
You got called up, man. I gave you that good old NXT call up.
Give me the finger point.
The finger point. The finger point. So we're here, man. And, thanks for doing this is episode 61, like I mentioned. So we're rolling along. And we got to talk, man, Joe. We had a very eventful SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Very eventful.
Hell yeah.
Right?
Hell yeah.
And this is what the show we're going to talk about. Yeah, listen. It's back. It's
we
back.
gotta put our ones in the sky.
In what capacity, though? We'll see you on SmackDown. We'll see what this means, man. Your boy had the new T-shirt on and everything, the OTC. Some people are like, yo, he should have saved that T-shirt for maybe tomorrow, right? Because it's kind of giving it away that, he's a probably baby face, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens tomorrow. But we gotta talk about the outcomes of SummerSlam, that PLE in that stadium in Cleveland. The crowd was cool, not red hot. There were some quiet points where I'm like, maybe they're just burned out. I don't know.
Yeah.
But listen, man, you watched SummerSlam, you saw it. Give me the letter grade. Give me your thoughts. Is this, and I've been hearing a lot of podcasters saying this, is this the greatest SummerSlam of all time? Some people said that. Not me. I ain't one of them. I'm not one of them.
People getting ahead of themselves.
I don't know what they're talking about.
You must be newer fans or something.
Exactly. What's your thoughts, Joe? Give the people your thoughts.
Yeah, definitely not greatest SummerSlam of all time. It was very solid though. Okay. I would say I would give it like a B, maybe a B minus around there.
Yep.
I will say I was very surprised by all the title changes. I wasn't expecting so many title changes. That was really cool. And of course we got the big, Roman return at the end. So that was cool as well. It was a little bit predictable at some points. Sometimes some things they did swerve us a little bit, like Nia Jax winning. I was not expecting that at all. I thought we were gonna wait a little while for that, but that was cool to see as well. But yeah, I would say B minus around there. How about you?
Now listen, man, I had some time to think about it. I haven't gone back to look at any match. I didn't watch any other match. I never do that, by the way. I don't go back to PLEs or pay-per-views or whatnot.
Yeah. I only do that if it's like a match I really enjoyed and I want to catch like the intricacies or something about it. But
exactly, my friend. Like that's the only time I'm going back, right?
Yeah.
And this one I was like, I'm not gonna go back for this, right? But after watching, I had a day or two to kind of sit back, think about it, take it in. And I was like, okay, I'm leaning towards a B minus.
Yeah.
Right. B minus because of the predictability. Like if you look down the card, you can almost guess who was going over in every match. Right. And I had a feeling titles were going to pretty much all your titles were going to change hands. There was not a moment during the show that surprised me. Right. There was not a moment during the show where I was like, damn, I didn't see that coming. Like there was no moment during the show where that happened, that surprise or anything like that, right? I even had a feeling Roman was coming back, right?
Yeah, and I think most fans did, right?
And that was the problem for me, man. And that took me out of the main event a little bit because that audience was quiet. And if you look at some of the scenes, they're staring towards the entrance, waiting for Roman's music to hit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, he's here, right? Like this is just.
This is the thing with Cody's title reign so far. I feel like we've all just been waiting for Roman to come back. His whole title reign has been when's Roman coming back? It's literally the SmackDown after WrestleMania, after this big end game. They already had "We Want Roman" chant.
Yeah, we want Roman.
That is wild. Like the fact that this guy was the biggest heel
Yep.
For the last 4 years or however long it's been that he was champion, and then as soon as he loses, the crowd's like, you know what? That was the fun part of this whole Cody story, really. Like,
You're right.
We get it. You finished your story and all, but when's the tribal chief coming back?
Yo, Joe, you are right, man. The day after Mania, people were like, okay, what do we do with you now, Cody? Like, what do we do? I don't have anything to cheer for.
I do think too, like, this is the booking is partially to blame for this, because I think Cody's still super over. I don't think Cody's not.
I agree.
Like the crowd, he comes out, the crowd goes crazy. Yes. Part of that is his song. His song is
it hits.
It's literally made perfectly for the fans to sing along, cheer. Oh, yeah. They made that in a lab. I feel like Cody Rhodes was made in a lab.
Listen,
he's Homelander. He's the good version of Homelander. Made in a lab.
Cody is Homelander. Just blew my mind.
Yeah, but he's the good version. When he turns heel, that's gonna be crazy though.
Even the robe and stuff look like Homelander's joint.
Exactly.
Like, you're right. The blonde hair, the perfect smile and teeth. Like,
but when he does, when he did like win the championship, obviously everybody was waiting for that story to end. From the last WrestleMania, we all wanted it to happen. Most people, I should say, wanted it to happen. Yeah. But like I said, I feel like the booking has been partially to blame. They threw him into a weird feud with AJ Styles. You know, they did produce some pretty good matches out of it.
Right.
And then we had the Logan Paul one-off that was kind of like out of nowhere. Didn't really make sense.
Didn't make sense. Yeah.
And then the Solo thing, which everybody's like, you're not our tribal chief, which obviously is going to make everyone think about the actual tribal chief. And it kind of puts Cody in the back burner. And I wonder if that's by design. You know, like maybe this is the story they are trying to tell us. Like, Cody, like, we don't know. We'll know more tomorrow on SmackDown, but we don't know where Roman stands.
That's a very good point, man. We don't know where we don't know what Cody's. Well, we don't know what is next for Cody, right? And I'm hoping tomorrow, which they probably will, they're going to set that up, because we got that on Raw with Gunther and Randy Orton, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know what you do. I don't know who you put against Cody. I don't know if I don't want to see Roman and Cody right now. I don't even think that should be a thought, since Roman's leaning towards babyface right now. So I don't even think he's in the picture. But I gotta say, man, I do feel bad for my boy Solo. Solo didn't get the chance, or he didn't get you know what happened? They damaged him so much before him becoming the new tribal chief that it was kind of hard to believe him as the tribal chief, right?
Yeah.
The stuff he was doing, promos, the Godfather look, the whole thing, it kind of worked, right? It was working.
For sure.
It's just that he wasn't, he had no wins. Your boy didn't win. So how am I supposed to believe that you could beat the hottest babyface, the world champ?
For sure.
It didn't do it for me. So I don't know. I think I was waiting for Roman to come out too. I was waiting for that.
I mean, we all were. Imagine how flat that match would have been if it just ended. Like if Cody just won clean and like
nothing.
The score would have been like a D instead of a B minus. Like that was what we needed. We needed that Roman at the end. We all were waiting for it.
Yeah, man. That stadium would have gone bananas if there was no Roman.
No.
Right?
I don't think people would still be there waiting for Roman. They would have left the stadium.
They would be like, where's Roman at? Where's Roman? I didn't pay $455 for these seats to not get no Roman Reigns. You know what I'm saying? So, I feel bad for Solo. It's one of those things where it's like, oh man, how they need to heat that bloodline up quick.
Yeah.
Like they need to squash some people. They need to come out ruthless.
Yeah.
I just don't know how you do it. Because again, none of the only guy on that team, Jacob Fatu, who people look at as like a killer, is kind of the only guy that matters right now. Like no one else really cares about what everybody else is doing, right?
Yeah. I mean, we got Tama Tonga, who is like, exactly. And Tonga Loa, who's I saw Tonga Loa is the one with the eye patch, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yes.
Yes, I saw a compilation of his botches since he started in WWE.
Oh,
Literally,
man.
he's been here like a month, and on YouTube, like it just popped up on my algorithm, and it's literally like his botches, and it's been like he's had like 10 or 12 botches already, and he's only been in like 4 spots. And it's like little things that you don't notice, but like these fans are like watching everything and going through everything with a fine-tooth comb, and they see these little like things that he'll just like, even on SummerSlam, I think at a point he was supposed to push Cody into the corner and missed the corner, and Cody's body just hit against the roof.
Yes, I saw that.
And I was like, dude, how do you mess that up?
How do you mess that up, bro? Like, come on, man. We gotta talk.
Yeah.
So there you go, Joe. You just gave me reasons why I don't care about them. You literally just gave me reasons why I don't care about them, and that's a problem. That's a problem, for sure. Especially.
I do think that with Roman back, that story is going to get heated up like crazy, and we'll see how this Solo Roman relationship, whatever it is, they're still family at the end of the day. So we have to see how that family handles their issues, and we've seen how that family handles their issues.
Right.
It should be a fun little story that they're going to be telling us soon.
Yeah, man. Now let me ask you something, man. You touched upon this in the earlier in the show. This by far was not the greatest SummerSlam you've ever seen, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
Was it to you? And you graded it at like a B minus, right? That's where you were at. So to you, it was a good SummerSlam. It was good.
Yeah. I would say it was solid. Like I said, I wasn't expecting that many title changes. It was predictable, but for some reason, I wasn't expecting. For some reason, I thought LA Knight wasn't going to get the win. I thought they were going to keep. Really? Yeah, because I feel like they were telling that like Daniel Bryan story with him, where we're going to keep holding off these fans until they explode with, like anger. I thought that was going to be the story of like people starting to like hashtag push LA Knight and all that stuff, like that fake organic story that they tell every couple of years, like Kofi Mania, Daniel Bryan,
the Daniel. Yes.
I thought that's where we were heading with that, and maybe he would get like a bigger title or something. But him winning the US title was a nice little surprise. Yeah, and that match was actually pretty good
good, man.
Yeah, honestly, that might have been match of the night, LA Knight and Logan Paul.
Well, that's kind of what I was going to get to, man. Was there any memorable matches for you? And I think that might be the one, right?
Yeah, I mean, I liked Gunther and Priest because they were hard hitting. I was a little disappointed by Punk McIntyre, just because there was so much heat leading into that match, and then like within like 3 minutes of the match, Drew McIntyre is going for a pin. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, you've been talking about how you want to kill this guy. And even Seth said it. Seth is a special guest referee, and he's over here saying, like, dude, you want to kill him. What are you going for a pin for? And it didn't make sense for the story.
It did make sense. Like you're thinking to yourself, like, yo, what are you doing, man? This whole time he's been costing you championships and matches and stuff like that. You're going for an immediate pin.
Yeah. After like a suplex, like after a regular vertical suplex, you're gonna go for a pin. Yeah. Like, what are you doing? And so that was a little disappointing. I think they are obviously holding off for like a bigger match down the road, and they probably didn't want to push Punk too hard because obviously his injury proneness.
Yeah, your boy is fragile. He's Mr. Potato Head. He's fragile. Like you touch him, he might break apart. You know what I'm saying? Like, like you can't mess around with Punk. Exactly. But see, here's the thing, man. Here's the thing with that, right? And that match to me, and WWE doesn't do this a lot. They ain't AEW on the extreme where they do some blood, right? A blood spot. To me, that feud needed some blood in it. Like that's the part where I was like, yo, split somebody open. Let me see some, because that should have been the most violent fight of the night.
For sure.
Right. But instead, we're talking about a Logan Paul match, which don't disrespect the Logan. Logan's doing his thing. But that Logan match with LA Knight being the best one, or the most entertaining or whatnot. Yeah. That says a lot. And hopefully you're right, Joe. Hopefully we see something build up in the next few months, right? People are saying you save Punk and Seth for Mania. Don't even think about putting that on anything else. And I hope WWE does that. But you can rerun that Punk and Drew.
Yeah.
Either at Bash of Berlin or Bad Blood.
I have a feeling Bad Blood might be headlined by that. Maybe in a cell.
Maybe in a cell, man.
Yeah. And that's where we get blood, hopefully.
That's why listen, if Punk decides to get injured in any day, that's the day he should go all out and just be like, yo, whatever
Honestly,
happens.
That's a good way to write him off.
And
just hold him till Mania. Put him in a bubble wrap until Mania, so that we actually get that match with him and Seth.
Yeah, man, bubble wrap and double-sided tape. Like, just make sure homeboy don't go nowhere. Like, listen,
exactly. Have him get the win,
so
he could beat Drew, but get killed in the process.
Get killed in the process.
Send him home until Mania season.
I agree, man. I agree. Now, Joe, I want to get to let's get to some probably one of the biggest story, and what this SummerSlam had that the past SummerSlams really didn't have was like every match had some stakes and storyline, right? Like there was something going on in every match, and I really appreciated the storytelling. So let's get to one of the biggest things that happened. Your boy Dominic got his new boo thing. Let's get to that.
Yeah.
So Dominic Mysterio, Liv Morgan is a thing, and there's even a new bloodline. I mean, a new
Judgment Day.
Judgment Day. A new Judgment Day, which I'm kind of digging this new Judgment Day. I don't know. I kind of like it. Dom and Liv, man, was it that big of a surprise? Did you see it coming? I'm glad she retained because she kind of needs the title if she's in this role. I kind of like it, man. I like it. I like it a lot.
I like it too. It was, you know what the thing is, like I say things are predictable, but then I'm like, do I just watch too much wrestling? Like if I was just a casual fan, would I be like, oh my God, I can't believe you did that to Rhea, right? But like the story was kind of being told in front of our eyes. And usually if you watch the show well enough, you'll see where the story is going, right? So I think we all kind of knew, especially, come on, man, Liv was putting that on him. Like, man. There's only so much a man could take.
Exactly. I mean, how much more is a man to go take, man? It's like,
you can't even blame the guy. You can't blame the guy.
Can't blame him, man.
And also, like, from what the story that they've been telling with Dom and Rhea for a long time is that Rhea is the mommy. Rhea is the one that wears the pants in the relationship, right? So for him to finally have a girl who's literally like throwing herself at him and treating him like a king, honestly, and, like getting him chicken nuggets at PlayStation 5 and all. And this guy's he's a kid basically, right? We know him as Mysterio's son, so he's basically a kid in our eyes, even though he is a grown man who's actually married in real life and all this stuff.
Exactly.
But in the show, he's a kid and he's being treated for the first time with respect and not being treated as like a second. So it made sense, even from a heel point of view. It makes sense why he did cross Rhea over. But it still was a really well told story. And I think out of all the matches and the stories, that was probably the main highlight of the show, right? Even with Roman returning, because we kind of all knew that was happening. But like this was the one that they've been telling leading up to SummerSlam. So for sure, it was a really cool moment. I feel bad for Rhea, man. I feel bad for Rhea. And then that's not the only one that got turned on, man. Like I know.
This
is crazy.
Judgment Day. Just Judgment Day just implode. But I'm feeling this new Judgment Day. I'm liking what they're possibly going to do with Rhea and Liv again. I like that on Raw. Rhea got her hands on Liv, right?
That was such a dope segment, man. That was an Attitude Era segment.
Attitude Era segment, 100%. Yo, JD, we gotta listen, man. We gotta give it up.
Give him his props
to JD McDonough. Your boy is spot monkeying it up. I mean, he is out here taking bumps like a champ, and that's if you need a guy to sell for you, JD is that chokeslam Priest did. Beautiful.
Yeah. That whole match was a banger too. Like
the match was good. Yeah.
There was at one point, I don't know if they started hitting at each other for real at one point. Like because there was a couple of hits that JD hit and Priest just ate them, but you could tell that they kind of hurt a little bit and then they started swinging at each other. And I was like, all right.
Yo, you remember how people used to say, Taker was like the best striker in the business, right? I'm gonna give some points to your boy Priest.
Yeah,
Priest
is up there.
Priest knows how to make it look real He connects well. He gets the slap in. Like you can hear the slap. Like he's up there on my list of people who are like the pure strikers in wrestling, for sure.
So now that we do have a new world champ on Raw, the ring general, the king general, yes. Gunther is the new champ. What do you think of the Damian Priest run?
I think the Damian Priest run was okay if this babyface role turns out to be successful for him. If he falls flat on the babyface role, then it was all for it. Just failed. It failed because the role the what was supposed to happen was that title was supposed to slowly get him into the position of being cheered, being looked at as like a badass baby face for the fans, for the people, that sort of dude. That's what holding the title was for, right? It made him important. It made him they threw him in the forefront of everything he was doing. You know, he was on camera a lot. But if it falls flat, it's sort of like, oh damn, it just ain't connecting. Something's not connecting. So I think if it worked for now, it worked for this. I think we're starting to see the fans know what's going on. He's becoming more of a people's guy, and you know, I like Priest a lot. I like Priest a lot. So hopefully it turns out well. I'm hopefully.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say the title run was okay if it succeeds in that. You know.
Yeah. I think it did the job of making him a main event type or main event level, I would say. I don't see him getting another title run anytime soon. Like Gunther's going to hold that title pie for a while.
I agree.
But the cool thing about the Damian Priest run is that I feel like he doesn't need a title anymore, which is pretty good. Like they put him to a level where he could have obviously this storyline with the Judgment Day and this Finn Balor matchup when they do finally lock horns is going to be like, all right, this is what we've been waiting for. So that's cool. But yeah, my boy Gunther is going to hold that belt for a while.
I believe so. Yes, I'm 100% behind you on that. Yeah, Gunther is going to hold that belt for a while. I think he's going to be a great champ. I'm really intrigued by this Randy Orton Gunther match. I think
that came out of nowhere.
Another hard-hitting match. Yeah, right. It came out. I think it's going to be a hard-hitting match. I'm liking the build already. I want Gunther to be a badass, like menacing figure in front of Randy, right?
Yeah.
People were saying that it almost seemed like he was in awe of Randy, and very subdued. I need to see like that killer again, right? Especially in front of Randy. Randy needs to, like, you got to do that in front of Randy, or you're going to get swallowed up by his persona. Like his persona and his aura alone could destroy anything you're trying to do. Sure. That's just his presence, and that's good for Randy. But Gunther needs to seem and feel big, right? So I'm intrigued by that. And then again, like when I'm talking about what happened, the big things that happened on SummerSlam, Roman returns, and we'll see what happens soon. Homeboy looks good. He looks rejuvenated, kind of sooner than I thought. I thought they were gonna. I thought, yo, I thought your boy was gonna be gone until early next year, like Feb. Like I thought we were going to see him till like late December, early January. But to see him now, very interesting.
It is interesting. Like, is he gonna be on weekly television? Like,
right?
Are we getting a full Roman run again? Like,
I don't know,
because he doesn't have the excuse anymore. Like before, he was champion, so he didn't have to be there all the time. But now he's not champion. He's kind of in a chasing position. If he wants the championship, we don't know. He wants that head of the table.
Yeah,
we don't know what that comes with, but I don't know. It is an interesting one. Like you're right. I like we all kind of predicted him coming back at SummerSlam, but I did have that thought prior to this whole like new bloodline story. I had the thought of like him not coming back for like maybe even to next Mania season, right?
Yeah, man.
And then he does show up now, so we'll see how they handle it. But for sure, like that was one of the interesting peaks of SummerSlam for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%. Now I want to get to another peak that was big. Was the premiere of the Wyatt 6 in-ring premiere, man. The Wyatt 6, man, I gotta tell you, it's no supernatural weirdness going on. These are wrestlers called by their names, and they looked good as a group and a unit. I'm so far so good. I'm glad they did this now and not wait until some PLE to do this match. Like we need to see them on TV and get this ball rolling, right? Sure. And my I guess my only critique of the Wyatt Six is that you know what? It's not even a critique. I actually did enjoy them. I thought the match was pretty good with the Creeds and Gable. I don't know. I was cautiously optimistic. That's what it was. So, and I'm glad they kind of met my expectations. What did you think of the Y6?
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. Like, I think the last time I was on the show, we were actually talking about the Y6, and I was having like those like concerns of them being supernatural and all that. But we haven't really seen that since their debut. Like, right? We saw the whole like they killed everyone backstage or whatever.
It was a murder. It's a murder scene back there.
And then they kind of just didn't explain that. They're just like, okay, whatever. And then Pierce said that he signed them.
He signed the people who just killed all his crew. They're like, what's going on?
Yeah, but that's cool. Whatever. And then like they've been doing the slow build with the VHS tapes and all that, which I think is pretty cool.
Right.
But I was, like you said, I was excited to see that it wasn't like anything like having the lights dim during the whole match, like Sin Cara or something. Yeah. Or like the fact that they took off the mask to wrestle. Like I was down. That all of that is really cool, and I feel like they're handling it the right way. It did remind me like of those old Wyatt 6-man tags that used to like main event Raw all the time, the Wyatts and the Shield, which is really cool. And if I love 6-man tag matches, so if we could continue doing that, I'm down for that. I do want to see what happens with Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas. Is he going to get in the ring? Is he going to be more of just a figure? I think either way it works. Maybe we do get that, like maybe Chad Gable is that first opponent for him, one-on-one or something like that. But for now, I think they're handling it really well. And like seeing Eric Rowan back. And doing like his tributes to Brody and like doing the yeah taunt that Brody used to do, kind of pulled the heartstrings a little bit. And I'm like, all right, this is a cool, like you could tell it's a tribute to Bray and Brody, and it's coming from like everyone. It's coming from Triple H. It's coming from everyone who's involved creating this storyline. So that's the cool part about it. And if they continue doing it this way, I could see it having legs, and just they don't need belts, they don't need titles, they don't need anything. Like this could be jump. They could pop up. They could take breaks, pop up in a month, 2 months, 3 months, and it'll be like a huge pop every time they come out. So right now they're handling it well. We'll see how they keep going. I do want to see like where they go from this Chad Gable feud too, because like they're leaning babyface, which is interesting because we don't get babyface like supernatural things often. So that is interesting. I don't know who else they could feud with, but it's interesting.
That's gonna be interesting. I agree. Like that was a question I was gonna ask you is how long do you think this has legs for? Like is this something that's sustainable? Do you have enough people to put against them that is credible? Does Uncle Howdy get in the ring often? Is Chad Gable, there's a lot of other question marks, especially how hot and fresh can they keep them where the audience is sort of not like, okay. Yeah. Like it's not a bathroom break match. You know what I'm saying? Like we know those matches, right? We see them coming out and we're like, all right, I can go to the merch table and buy something real quick. I can get me some popcorn that's down the hall. Like you don't want it to become that. And, I don't know what more it is. It's only the first match and I'm already thinking like, I don't know what more we can do without them seeming like it's overkill. So
you got to space it out.
You got to space it out. How H books this and how Bo has in his head how he envisions it is going to be very interesting because the one thing that we didn't get with Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family is that in-ring classic match quality, right? I'm just wondering if this group can produce that. Joe Gacy is pretty decent in the ring. Rowan's a big guy. He's just a big guy doing the stuff. I want to see Bo. I think Bo's actually pretty decent. And he's got personality and whatnot. And then the guy with the
Dexter
Loomis. Not crazy about his in-ring work, but again, it's the personality and persona. that gets them over.
Mm-hmm.
So the ring work got to be on point for me. Because I mean, you're gonna lose me if you suck and it's trash and the match is just like, it's just
I think
good.
I think that's the key. They need to keep it fresh enough that we don't start seeing that. Like we don't start seeing those cracks. Like, all right, I know they're gonna win. Let me go make a sandwich while this is on. Because like there's not much you could do with a supernatural team at the end of the day. So like you have to space it out. You have to make sure they're in these like longer feuds that like this feud with Chad Gable was pretty long. Like it started from when they debuted all the way till now, and it's probably still going to keep going for a little bit longer after this. So I see that happening. Like, and they do have other teams, and like they have the new Judgment Day. Like that could be a pretty good matchup. Like, and that could be maybe we see Demon Finn. Like we could see some double supernatural stuff there, things like that. And then maybe eventually you even have Wyatt 6 bloodline if you could get to that point, right? Like that would be fun too.
Okay.
You don't know in which version of the bloodline too, right? It could be Solo's bloodline, Roman's bloodline, something like that. But that like there is a lot of potential. It's just a matter of not like stuffing it down our throats. If we have a 6-man Wyatt 6 match every single week, like they did with the original Wyatts, and they kind of lost their flair because of that. I think that would kill the gimmick right away. Like we don't want to see them every week.
Yep, you cannot see them every week, man. You're right. And we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. I'm staying cautiously optimistic, but I'm now teetering on like, okay, I'm digging it. Let's see what else you got under your sleeve and then go from there, man. I'll tell you one thing, man. I want to get into some AEW, and not too much AEW, but one specific thing. Your girl Britt Baker. Damn, we'll get to her now. So Britt Baker suspended, fined, for being, I guess a mean girl. Like, was she being a mean? Like, was she? Britt's very interesting, right? Britt is not that great in the ring. She's just an original to me, right? And her original is what's keeping her in the mix of the company, in my opinion. The things that she has done or said, or the way she's acted, does not constitute or does not reflect a person who is like a top level wrestler in terms of everything, her matches, her promo, whatnot, right? She's not a Charlotte Flair who probably can get away with some of these things. But the fact that this is just reported, right? She said something about MJF, his lady was in the locker room, which, why would you say that? Why would you say something about a man when his woman is right there, and then get mad because his girl told him what you said?
It sounds very high school.
I don't know what's going on, man. Like what's happening. So Britt Baker gets suspended. Apparently, she'll be probably back within the next couple of weeks. What's your thoughts on Britt, the whole situation? We're still going to get her at All In with Mercedes, which would be interesting. Do you think this cost her that match? Do you think they're now probably not going to pull her over?
No way. Tony Khan is he's a bigger mark than all of us. Right. and that's honestly why he has been able to be successful in AEW. Some fans might say he's not successful, but he's obviously running a company, and he has a TV deal and all this stuff. So obviously he knows what he's doing in the business side. But I like the whole thing with the whole Britt thing. So apparently, from what I read, she was pissed off about Ospreay and MJF getting an hour-long match. And like my whole point, like, okay, you're mad because they're taking away time, right? Quote unquote. But if that's what the booker decided, get mad at the booker. Don't get mad at MJF. Like, and don't talk crap about MJF in front of his girlfriend, fiance, whatever the hell she might be, and then not expect it to get back to him. So, like, obviously, and like you said, this is all alleged, this is all rumors, but they did address it a little bit on Dynamite this week. They did say she was suspended by the EVPs, so they made it into a storyline, which is good. Like you said, she's an original. She's the first ever woman signed to AEW, and I think she's going to hold on to that for a long time. And that's probably what's going to keep her there forever. She's not that great in the ring, like you said. I think she's gotten better, but she's still not she's not on Mercedes level, Tony Storm level, Mariah May level. Like these are real like grapplers, and but her character work is pretty good. And I think at the end of the day, she has like this old school locker room, I'm the leader type thing. And maybe it works backstage, but obviously if things are leaking out like this, and it's just not a good look. And the whole, and the story too in itself is kind of a nothing story, right? Like they had an altercation, she got suspended, which makes sense. And when the whole thing with Punk happened in AEW, everybody got pissed about like Tony Khan not doing something. So now he's actually doing something, and then everybody still gets pissed. So like, you can't win. You can't
win, man. You can't win.
So something happened, got suspended. It's a nothing story. But the issue is the leaking. Like, who is leaking these stories? Why are we learning about this stuff? And that's what makes it look like an amateur company, right? Because I'm sure there's things that happen backstage at WWE. Like these are all people who are fighting for the top spot at the end of the day. Even if they're not, even if it's all the show, everyone wants to be that main eventer. Everyone wants that bigger check. Everyone wants that screen time, TV time. So I'm sure there's altercations happening in every wrestling company. But the fact that we only hear about them from AEW, that is the issue. They need to cut whoever the hell is leaking these stories, figure it out, and freaking send them out. Like, if it's Britt Baker herself, teach everybody a lesson by firing her. Yeah, man. Oh, well, she goes to WWE, she shows up at NXT. Oh, well, at least you don't have someone that is actively trying to mess up your company from the inside. That's the main issue. The leaking is the issue to me.
Joe, there's too many leaks, bro. Like, who
the hell is going
on? Like, why are we hearing so much about this one company? It's like almost every 3 months there's something going on. Like, it's like, come on, man.
Yeah. And like, part of me is like, are these things that are exaggerated because it makes AEW look bad? And there's the whole conspiracies online of like the dirt sheets being paid by Triple H, which I don't believe either. I don't think Triple H gives a fuck about all this.
I don't think he cares. He
does not care. Like, WWE is the leader. They're the Disney of sports entertainment. They're not even looking at AEW.
Yeah, your boy's selling out stadiums. So that's what, he doesn't care about any of this.
So whoever is leaking it, I'm guessing, and I'm going to put it out there, I'm guessing it's Chris Jericho. And I'm just going to blame Chris Jericho for this. And Chris Jericho, historically, is one of my favorite wrestlers. I think the first time I was ever on this podcast, actually, we spoke about who was better, Jericho or Edge, and I fought for Jericho hard.
Fought hard for Jericho,
but
I think I was with you at the Jericho.
I think the administrator was pushing. For
he was. Yep.
But for some reason, I can't get it out of my head that it's Jericho that's leaking all these stories, because he just seems like a mark for himself and for everything and for attention. And I know it's his storyline, like, purpose now that he wants TV time and all that.
Yeah.
But doesn't he seem like the biggest mark for himself?
1000%. And I'm glad somebody said it. Yes, 1000%.
I'm starting my Jericho beef on this podcast right now.
He's definitely a big mark for himself. You listen, man. Well, listen, it's somebody who's got some access to people to get this stuff out. Like, it's somebody, which is wild. Like, I don't understand how you have someone in your locker room who's doing this, purposely sabotaging story or business for what? I don't know. But listen, I just want Britt to be back. Let's get this storyline rolling again. Let's get you guys in the ring, talking back and forth, talking trash, some vignettes, all that. Because we just need to get some stuff rolling again.
I do think, though, one more thing I must say about this Britt Baker Mercedes feud is falling a little flat. It's falling a little flat, and I think the reason it's falling flat is that both of them aren't the best with a live mic.
They are not.
Like, this past episode of Dynamite, they did the whole satellite interview thing with Britt, and I feel like Britt came off way better. So I think from now on, just have the whole feud be satellite. Like, let them rehearse their lines a bunch of times, let them do a bunch of takes, all that. Because right now
and we have on satellite Mercedes this time. Mercedes,
exactly. Because Mercedes is not great on the live mic.
No,
I'm sorry.
man.
She's amazing, a wrestler. She's an amazing person, all that, but she's just not great on the live mic. It's always been a weak point for her.
Yeah, it's always been.
Let's get her off the mic.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get her on some cool vignettes. Show her being like the cool person that she is with her new heavy, Camille, and just like they could show them working out in the gym or something. They could do a lot of stuff, but just don't put her in the ring with a mic, please.
You know what? With Mercedes now with the live mic, sort of works in the annoying, go away, can't stand you, your voice is screeching, like I don't. In that way, right? Yeah. Where it's the annoying heat, the like, I can't stand you heat. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's good heat, but it's heat. So it kind of works because now Mercedes is this obnoxious, like, thanks to my EVPs who hooked me up and blah, 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 blah. It kind of works. It's still cringy to hear her talk, and it just doesn't sound, it just sounds like someone pretending. Like it's just, it doesn't sound natural. It doesn't sound like there's a natural cadence to her speech or anything, which just doesn't work. But in the annoying go away kind of way, it kind of works. Yeah. Listen, this is the best we're going to get, right? from both of them.
Yeah.
Brit's
it does fit. It does fit
a little bit better though.
Yeah. And it does fit the EVPs, like because the EVPs kind of have go away heat too. So
yes,
just put them all in the go away section.
Yep, that's where they're all right now. They're all in the go away section. But like you said, I'm digging Camille.
Yeah,
I think it's a visually perfect fit. Mm-hmm. Camille is a hard hitting, not the most finessed wrestler, but it just kind of works. Yeah. So I'm digging that. I think it's gonna be a good match. I think it's gonna be a good match, and probably Mercedes drops the TBS title. I don't want her to. I think it's too soon. Especially because she hasn't really had a defense. I don't think she's had a defense since she's been champion, right?
I think she had like a random one-off against somebody. I can't remember who. Maybe like Sky Blue or something.
Yeah. So no one's significant, right? So
it hasn't been like it hasn't been a PLE because she just won it she won it before that, and then she had the Forbidden Door match with Kerr, where she won the other belt. Yeah. So she's walking around with 2 belts. We'll see what happens at All In. But I think it will be a good match. They're gonna surprise us with that match because it's gonna be, even if it's not the most technically sound match, the crowd's gonna be hyped for it. Exactly. And the dueling chants of DMD, CEO, with however many thousand people they get in All In this time around, that's going to be a sight to see. So for sure, I think it's going to be a fun match. I don't think Mercedes drops the belt though. I don't think yet. Not yet.
Yeah, I don't think. I don't want to see that yet. I don't think it's necessary for her to drop the belt. You're right. Yeah, I don't want to see her drop the belt. I think Mercedes kind of needs them. If to be honest, I think she kind of needs some gold around her, especially for her persona, Mercedes Moné. How are you Moné if you got no money and no gold, all this stuff, like you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. Have you guys spoken about the Shane McMahon rumors on this show yet?
No, we haven't. No, we haven't. We could in there, man, though. Yeah. So very interesting.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out in what capacity Shane would be in. I don't want to see your boy in the ring. I don't want to see him either. I don't want to see any of that.
I don't want to see him in the ring. No. Maybe on-screen character, maybe.
Or maybe.
But I don't know if you want to even touch the McMahon name with like a 10-foot pole right now, right?
Oh, man. Do you make well, Christopher Daniels is in this role, but do you make him an authority figure?
Do you make him a new part of the elite, right? They could do this whole storyline where, oh yeah, TK, you got all the bucks, but we got bankrolled by money.
Yeah. Could it work? I mean,
it could work, but do they want that level of criticism? I mean, it sells, right? At the end of the day, it sells. But fuck, the McMahons will never die.
They ain't going nowhere, man. There's
So
always
crazy.
a space for a big man.
Oh my god, I can't believe that. Like, obviously, that photo was purposely leaked.
Oh yeah.
But I can't believe that photo actually happened. Like Tony Khan sitting there with shaved. What the hell were they even talking about?
What? Yeah. What do you even discuss? Like I don't know, man. I'm open to Shane being an on-screen figure, but not. I don't want to see him as a competitor wrestler. I don't want to see Shane in that ring again doing any stupid fake whack punches of his. I don't want to see any of that. I don't want to see any of that.
You say that, but you would definitely watch a Shane McMahon Darby Allin match.
I might. You just sold me. Yeah, that's what you have to say.
Who kills himself first match?
A Shane Darby match. Oh my!
Who jumps off the higher surface match?
I'm watching it. Yeah, Joe. I'm watching it.
But
you're right.
But hopefully that's far in the future, or never. But it's interesting. It's definitely an interesting rumor. Well, it's not a rumor. We saw the picture, so it's interesting. Whatever comes out of there, I hope it's not like he's the big surprise at all in, because I feel like it won't fall flat because people are gonna pop for Shane no matter what. Mm-hmm. But then, like, the aftermath is gonna be like, "What the fuck are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? This is like some like late WCW or like even TNA when they were grabbing everybody from WWE. Like, it's almost that's what it.
It's almost like WCW grabbing Russo. Like Shane is that like the guy that like. I don't know if we should do this. Like, and he comes with all this baggage of like negative press and social media thugs out there saying what you do. Why Shane? Why are you doing this? Or Tony, you're such a mark. What do you do? Like, it just I don't know.
But he is such a mark. He is such a mark that he would do it.
He would do it, man. I'm curious though. I'm going to leave that door cracked open. And if Shane wants to peek through, I might let him in. I might be like, all right, what can we do? It can't be like anything he's done before. That's the thing. We got to think outside the box how this may work.
I also don't want him, like, if he comes in and he starts like just automatically taking shots at WWE, I feel like that's going to fall flat.
Can't do that.
Like, we don't want that. Like, come in and pretend that they don't even exist. If possible. Exactly. You might have to mention it like on your first promo, like, never thought you'd see a big man here or something like that, right? But just leave it there and then start a storyline that makes sense with the company. Because if they start doing some weird Shane versus Stephanie or something, like, I don't want to hear any of that crap. We've seen that. We've done that. WWE's done it. They did it with the Invasion. Like, we've done this way too many times already.
Yeah. Let's move on from that. Don't want to see that. But we'll see, man. It's the Shane of it all, man. Damn. Who thought this would be a thing we'd be talking about in AEW or just in wrestling again right now? With the sale of WWE, the creation of AEW, that we're talking about Shane still. Like, who? I thought he was gone forever after 39, after breaking his ankle. I thought he was gone.
Man.
I thought your boy was out. He was never coming back. But no, Shane wants to be back. Unless you bankroll in some part of this, I don't know if I need you back. Like, I don't know. But Tony's a mark. He's a mark for it all, man.
Sure.
Damn. Well, Joe, listen, man, this has been a good show, man. Anything else you want to hit? Anything else?
We spoke so much about the YS6. We also didn't talk about Seth, man. Seth getting attacked by Bronson Reed on Raw. That was interesting.
It was that made your boy Bronson. That was a made moment for him. Now, does he become a big star after that? I don't know, but at least people got their eyeballs on him now. That's so old school. He did it at least 7 times? At least?
Yeah, it was something crazy, man.
And your boy Seth spit got
coughing up blood.
Coughing up the blood. It was genius. It was perfect.
It was
now
really
I wonder
good.
if they did that to write Seth off.
Yeah. keep him off TV for a while.
Keep him off TV
for a while. Save that Punk Seth match.
There you go.
For sure. But shout out to Triple H for automatically heating someone up like that.
Yeah,
like
man.
That was the perfect way to heat up a big monster. Yeah. Like now everyone has, like you said, everyone has their eyes on him.
And I'm a fan of Bronson.
Yeah, me too.
He's got the look. He can move. Yeah, I like Bronson, man. I'm high on Bronson. So to see him get a push, the ball's in his court now.
For sure. And it's interesting because even if he doesn't become a main event player or whatever, that mid card on Raw is shaping up nice. Like we did get Braun Breaker IC title win on SummerSlam as well, and we got Ilya Dragunov somewhere around there. We got Sami Zayn. We got Pete Dunne now starting this feud with Sheamus.
Yep.
Sheamus, Bronson Reed. Like that's a pretty stacked mid card, and it's giving me like old school vibes when the mid card actually mattered and the Intercontinental title actually mattered. Shout out to Gunther because Gunther made that belt special again.
Man. Elevated that belt back to where it needed to be, man. Yeah.
So for sure, I'm excited to see what happens with Bronson Reed, and eventually we'll get that Seth Rollins Bronson Reed match, and I think that'll be a surprise banger right there.
Yeah, and I think Bad Blood is not next. Bad Blood's in October.
Yeah, that's October.
So maybe we see that at Bad Blood.
Yeah,
Bronson and because maybe Seth disappears until Bad Blood.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Because he can't go back on TV. You were coughing up blood, homeboy. Like your ribs got to be broken. So
internal bleeding.
I can't. Yeah, he gets wheeled out. Like, I mean, come on, man. You can't show back up. Like,
I love that everybody was just like, no more.
Stop. Like, I would
drag him out of the ring, save him.
Joe, I would love to be one of the extras, like an official or security. Like I just want to do like one of these, like that.
The best thing about Bronson Reed too is his finisher, the tsunami. It literally looks like he's just slipping off the top. Every time I see him, I'm like, yo, he looks like he's just like, whoops.
I'm waiting for the moment his foot gets caught and he just flops over. Like he doesn't make it over. Like he just kind of falls down. Because the way he does it looks like he can easily just clip his foot.
Yeah, like for sure. He just like takes a step off the top rope. Yeah. But it still looks devastating because he's a big dude. So like it's a great move, but it's just so funny looking when you see it 7 times in a row. You're like, this guy's literally just falling off the top rope, but it looks devastating.
It's Seth. Seth, the master seller he is, man.
It was good.
Say whatever you want about this dude. Your boy Seth is a legend. He knows what to do to make people look good. He knows the facial expressions. He knows how to hit. He knows what to say. Like your boy Seth is an MVP, man. He knows what to do. He knows what to do. And he made Bronson look like a pure monster with the reaction, the blood, the selling. I mean, it was chef's kiss. It was amazing. Joe Man, thanks for joining the show. The 3-man booth coming soon. Streaming Joe joining us. The administrator will be back. We'll be back next week. Episode 62 coming at y'all. We'll see what happens, man. The wrestling news is hot. Who knows what's coming out? Maybe we might get some more news. Maybe Shane is having lunch in NXT with Shawn Michaels. Who knows? Who knows what's happening? Shane will he's going to make his rounds. Your boy ain't going nowhere. But check out On the Mark Wrestling Podcast on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. We're all over the place. Join the platform. We're trying to do our thing. We just a couple guys just talking about professional wrestling. That's all. We're just talking about some wrestling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But join us next time, y'all. Until then, peace. And Joe, thanks a lot, man. We'll see you again.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me, like always.
Yes, sir.
You've been listening to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast, a Scriptly adapted production. Follow us on Instagram and YouTube at On the Mark Wrestling, and email us at onthemarkpodcast@gmail.com.